We're talking about the Aria today. I'm Jon and she's Chelsea, and
Hey.
this is the fabulous TexVegas podcast. No Jeff today because that loser's never stayed at the Aria.
Yeah, he didn't come with us on our trip that time.
No, something about budgeting, doing the right fiscal thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. All
he
that
was adulting.
adulting, all that
Yeah.
lazy adulting stuff.
Yeah.
He wasn't about that life. Last October, when it was our anniversary, we decided to make a trip. We were scheduled to stay at the Luxor. Some odd reason, we just decided to say, hey, we've never stayed at the Aria. Why don't we see what kind of deal we can get at the Aria? And,
I think we had watched some YouTube videos of people staying there, and it was just something that attracted us. I kind of had wanted to stay there for a while, but it was expensive, so we knew we'd have to pay out of pocket.
yeah, it's on the list. And let me be very transparent. We're going to be very honest of our reviews. We always are. If you've listened to our Mirage episode, in jest, we had a really funny time recording that one and talking about the Mirage. But Chelsea and I are going to be really, really serious about the Aria. And I'm just going to be honest and upfront right now. I'm not going to rate it that high.
Yeah, maybe in certain areas it might get a higher rating than others, but yeah, we'll talk through it.
We'll talk through it, but just understand right off the bat, the experience started less than thrilling when I talk about how much we had to pay in fees every day.
Yeah.
Just to hold your account in order, like if you wanted to order room service, they wanted to hold. It was $135 a day.
Well, okay, so when you book your room, you give them a credit card, and every hotel automatically puts a what do they call it? It's a holding fee, but it's like for damages or I don't know, what do they call it?
Room service, anything you order, you can charge to the room. They put a hold on a credit card or a debit card to ensure that those charges get paid at the end of the trip.
Yeah.
And they don't have to run around
And what is it most places?
Most places you're talking about $40-$50 a day, maybe some even less.
Yeah.
At the Aria, it was like $135 a day that we had to make sure. So I'm going to tell you right now, we ordered room service. You
don't have to. You get the money back. If
everything's
everything's fine with your room, when the stay is over, you get the money back. But the point is that you have to have enough room on your credit card before you go, if you're going to give them that credit card, because it's going to hold it.
Yes.
Put a hold on your card, and we felt like that was just a lot. I
think it was way too much. And I guess you can use it if you go to the spa. You can use it anywhere in the resort. You can use it to hit buffets or whatever, restaurants. Some restaurants will let you charge to the room, so others won't. So that was my first con, was just how much. Now, behind the scenes here, you and I are M Life Rewards members. We were formerly gold status, but now we're back to whatever this pearl status.
Yeah.
We're getting gold back when we go in December,
which is like halfway to the top.
Yes.
It starts out as is it sapphire,
pearl, gold. Then there's
platinum and Noor. I think
Noir
Noor's the highest, where
and it's invitation only.
Yeah, you get your transportation from the airport. You get invited.
You are a rich high roller.
Yeah,
and
you get the fancy rooms.
But
I don't think we'll ever get there.
but we say all that to say this: we get comps to the hotels.
Yes.
And in another episode later down the road, we're going to tell you all about the trip that we took that got us there. You have to spend money to get perks, and we spent a lot of money one trip, and so we get the perks. And so the room stay itself was comp. The 4 nights, 5 nights.
Was it? I didn't think the whole thing was comped. I thought we had to pay part of it.
Okay, part of it we had to pay part of it.
Remember.
So we flew in on, when did we fly in, on a Tuesday?
Yeah, we stayed during the week.
Okay, we flew in on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we stayed Saturday because Sunday was our anniversary. We took a red eye on Sunday night, Monday morning.
Yes.
And if we got 4 nights comped out of the 5 we stayed, then we paid for 1 or 2 nights, but then we had to pay that exorbitant charge. So, we were looking at probably close to $800-900.
Mm-hmm. If
out.
we used all of the
And that's with
service hold.
And that's with the comps, because you have to pay taxes and resort fees.
Yes.
Even if some offers will waive those, some won't. They wouldn't. So they wouldn't waive taxes and resort fees. So we had to pay taxes and resort fees are murder and a half in Las Vegas. You're talking about maybe they'll add $40 onto your trip.
Well, I mean,
for every night you spend.
That's one of the major reasons we go back to Luxor, because
Exactly.
Luxor will waive it.
They waive our resort.
And so it's not just
yeah.
our hotel that's waived, it's the resort fees and taxes. That means we can go free of cost fully and stay there and only have to pay our put the service hold on the card, which then we can use, like you said, for room service or something.
So we stayed 5 nights, so we paid for 2 extra nights. They worked it out for us. I do remember this. They don't normally do this, but they did move one of our comp nights to Saturday, because Saturday is the most expensive day.
Yeah, usually they don't. You pay the most expensive
So we
day.
paid a bunch of money, but they gave us the Saturday comp, and they billed us for one of the days during the week with the cheaper rate. So I'll give them this. They worked with us because we were rewards members, and we were coming in on our anniversary. And when we got to the desk, I did the $20 wedge, which or the sandwich, or people call it different things. I did the $20 wedge trick. I put it between my player's card, my ID.
And that's basically a tip. That's a tip for the clerk at the desk.
At the desk. But by doing that, they may or may not, depending upon booking and availability, get you a better room.
Yeah, a lot of times you can hand it to them and you can say, are there any complimentary upgrades available?
Complimentary upgrades. And in our case, we got they called a strip view. Although we weren't high up on the floor, we were kind of like halfway.
Yeah, we were looking out the front of the hotel.
We were looking out the front of the hotel. We got to see the fountain. We got to see how the...
Not the Bellagio fountains. This is a little Aria fountain.
It's a lot, out front, the circular drive. The Polo Towers was in front. Mm-hmm. So you see that lit up at night. You could see the Planet Hollywood, and you had a pretty good view, decent view of the Strip. Not the greatest view of the Strip. Vegas pro tip: the $20 tip, or the $20 wedge, or the $20 sandwich. So if you're staying at a hotel resort in Las Vegas and you're paying, if you put 20. Typically 20 is the denomination that most people use. You put it between either your ID and credit card, or your ID and your player's card, or however, when you're at the front desk, you hand it to them and you ask them, is there any complimentary upgrades available, for the stay? And they're not dumb to this idea at the front desk. They know, they'll be honest with you. If they're allowed to take it, they can take it and look and see what they can give you. If not, they'll be upfront. They're like, I'm sorry, we can't accept gratuity or anything like that. And
most places do. But yeah, every now and then you'll have somebody who will say, I'm sorry, we're fully booked today, and they'll hand it back to you because they're not going to take it if they can't really do anything for you.
In a future edition, we'll talk about the economics of Las Vegas, and when we tell you what wage is that most of these people make.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas,
they definitely rely on the tipping.
It'll blow your mind. And so anytime you can tip, it's encouraged and necessary.
Yeah.
We tip a lot when we go to Vegas. In fact, we earmark a certain amount of our money that we take, and we get it in singles and fives. And we do that so that we can tip properly while we're there.
Yeah, because they're there to make sure that I have a good time. They know I'm on vacation, and I know it's their job. But most of the time, the people who are there are really there to make sure that you're having a great time and that you're having a lot of fun on your vacation. And so, to me, it's worth it. If I can make their life a little better by giving them a little more in tip. I think I tip the cleaning crew every day. I usually tip them about $5 every day. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think about that happening for every single room that they clean, that adds up, and it really makes a dent in what they take home pay-wise.
Yeah, considering they make maybe $5 or $6 an hour.
Yeah.
It's insane. So, tip. Always remember to tip. And even your dealers at your tables and your stickmen at the craps table, everybody, the roulette table, tip them. It's appreciated. I did the $20 trick. I said, it's my wife's night anniversary. We're wanting to see if there's any complimentary upgrades. They said, we can put you in a strip view. It's going to be like mid-level versus top level. We said, great. And, we accepted it. So, yeah, that'll bring us to the actual room portion of the review for the Aria. Las Vegas, an AM Life casino property. Room was pretty decent.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, first of all, I have this thing about the air conditioning. So you and I at home, we sleep with the air conditioning at 68 degrees at night. I cannot, I mean, we've even tried to turn it up to like 70 and I can't sleep. I mean, I just cannot sleep with it any bit hot. So our experience at the Caesars properties has always been that they lock the AC. To where you can only turn it down to a certain setting. We always end up having to call maintenance when we first get there to come. They have to come into your room, open up the grate that's underneath the thermostat, and then they reach in there and they turn on something, or they flip a switch, or I don't know what they do. And it unlocks the AC to where you can turn it down to whatever you want. In Life properties, we've never ever run into that problem. I can turn the AC to whatever I want. So that's another big reason that we stay at In Life properties most of the time, because I don't like having to deal with that. I mean, I know
you want to be comfortable.
Yeah, I don't want to have to call maintenance every time I get there to fix the AC.
And I mean, here's the deal: when we were there in October, there was one like really chilly day. The rest of the time, you're talking about a high of 85 and a low of like 60, and not so much of the crosswinds. So it's not cold. You want to be able to sleep as comfortable as you can, even if you weren't in your own home.
Yeah.
So that was a plus. The room is very technologically advanced.
It's pretty awesome, actually. I mean,
there was a tablet there that allowed you to do everything. You could control the curtains. You could turn the lights on and off from it.
Like to whatever degree you want. Like if you just want the lights dimmed, if you want them off all the way. You could even order room service from it.
And we did.
Yes. And I will say that was also another big plus for me about the Aria, was that I could order Starbucks from the tablet, and then they would tell me when it was ready, and I could just quickly ride down the elevator, run over to the Starbucks counter. My order was sitting there. All I had to do was grab it, and I could run right back up to the room with it. And I mean, so easy compared to like staying at the Mirage, where they have one little Starbucks and the line is always like all the way down the hallway to get in there and get a drink in the mornings, especially if you wake up later. So
that was a plus.
Huge plus for me.
Just everything being,
as we've mentioned before, I get Starbucks every morning when I'm in Vegas.
Starbucks is not a sponsor on this podcast.
It is a treat for me. And I got paid nothing to say that.
Yes, exactly. So everything's on a tablet, so that's pretty cool. We had this like really big window view. It wasn't a corner view, but it was nice. You could fall asleep with the lights.
Floor to ceiling windows.
Yeah, floor to ceiling windows. You could fall asleep with the lights. The bed feels comfortable. Pillows. Here's the thing: every pillow at every hotel that I stay at suck.
Yeah, John doesn't do well with the pillows.
I am a firm pillow guy. The hotels obviously don't want to like kill the geese to firm up the pillow. Or
are they feather pillows these days? I don't know.
I have no idea, but I mean, they need to get a hold of My Pillow and see if they can't work out a deal with Mike Lindell, because pillows at every hotel I've stayed at in Las Vegas need help.
Yeah,
they really do.
John just kind of sinks into them. Let me just say that like you sleep with 4 pillows here at home, and so you kind of sleep at 3. You sleep at. It's not even a 45-degree angle, y'all. It's more like, I don't know, a 54-degree angle or something. I don't know. But Jonathan really sleeps with his head in a kink, if you ask me. But that seems to be how he likes to sleep. So when he gets the hotel pillows and he gets 2 of them, he kind of just sinks into them, and it's like he's laying flat, if you will. So he has to ask for extra pillows, and they'll usually only give you about 2 more extra pillows, and still I don't think Jonathan enjoy the hotel pillows very much.
No, they all suck. I have to get like 6 pillows to try to be comfortable. So if we were rating pillows, which we're not, but if we were rating pillows, it'd be like negative 25.
Yeah.
So
but that's on every hotel.
that's
not just
pretty much
the Aria.
that's standard. That's standard.
Yeah.
But here's my complaint with the with the Aria. You're paying for a luxury hotel experience, because if you're staying at places like the Cosmo, the Aria, Bellagio, you're paying an upcharge for a luxury experience. Period. And
Well,
I think,
it is considered a luxury hotel. Aria is.
yeah, it is. So I want the luxury feel, and that one doesn't measure up. The bed's comfortable, the pillows are okay. Okay, my favorite part of the Aria was the walk-in shower tub combination.
Yes. Oh, that's
In the room.
awesome. I wish we could do that here at home, but it just wouldn't work. Wouldn't be functional.
It would not work. Luxor the cat has weighing in. It's our little buddy. We'll put a picture up of him for you so you can see as he contributes to the podcast.
Contribute to the podcast? Huh? No, you're gonna get shy and not say anything.
Pretty much. So, yeah, the shower tub combination. So I could go. So anyone could soak. It was a soaker tub, which is a must in Las Vegas, because you will walk a lot. Even if you take monorails, I mean, it is expensive to take a cab everywhere. I'm telling you this right now. Even rideshare will run it up.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to walk to like the monorail and use the Las Vegas monorail system. But I mean, you're going to walk.
Yeah,
You're going to
but
put some miles on.
Like even that, first of all, you do a lot of walking to get in and out of the monorail stations from each hotel that you stop at. And secondly, it can get expensive. I mean, it can be pretty expensive, even if you do the like full 7-day, anytime ride type thing. It can get expensive, but yes, you're gonna walk a lot.
You want to rejuvenate the legs.
The soaker tub, hands down, it is a requirement. Ever since we stayed at Imperial Palace on our honeymoon, and we had that huge, what they called the love tub. I don't think we've only stayed in one other hotel room, I think, since we've gone back, that did not have a soaker tub, and that was at the Harrah's. And we will talk about how much we hated Harrah's in another episode. But yeah, soaker tub is definitely a requirement.
Overall, let's go ahead and give the room a rating. Again, we're going to use our 1 to 5 scale, 5 being excellent and 1 being less desirable. I would have to give the room about a 3.5.
I would say 4.
Okay. We're not too far off.
I would say 4. It was really nice.
What we got for an upgrade view-wise, I would have preferred that on a higher floor. That's really where my 0.5 comes in.
Yeah.
I thought we were kind of lower than.
Yeah,
for
we
the
didn't
view.
get a very high room, but the view was okay. And I mean, the room is. I mean, it's very comfortable, very nice, very clean, very luxury. Definitely.
So, yeah, I'm at a 3.5. You're at a 4, so we'll average that out.
To 3.7.
3.7. Let's talk about dining.
Okay, hands down. Okay, we have eaten at a lot of buffets in Vegas, like from the that's not very good at all to the wow, we ate at the Caesar's buffet.
The Bacchanal.
Yeah, right. I can't say that. And which is like considered the best buffet in Vegas.
I mean,
it's the
you
most
pay
expensive.
pay $70 to $100
and
for 2 hours of sitting, but you have some of the best food in Las
much
Vegas.
Variety of food on there. It's crazy. You can't even eat it all. It's insane. So we have eaten at a lot of buffets, and I will say Aria is my all-time favorite. I think we ate there 3 or 4 times that trip
at least 3
so
times.
Good.
It was our first stop when we checked into the hotel.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes, I had $100 resort credit, so we went to the buffet, had lunch. I thought the food was really excellent. You know, you're talking about buffet, so I mean it was lunchtime. So instead of, you didn't have your prime rib out yet, but you had your like carved turkey, chicken. You had a little like beef, sirloin steak they could cut off.
Yeah.
I mean, really good, protein options.
Well, I mean, and we've talked a lot before about my food allergies, but there was plenty there.
Oh yeah.
For me to eat. And it's just so good. Like, honestly, it is probably one of my favorite places now on the list of places to eat in Vegas.
We're hoping that, as we get through this period of the pandemic, that at some point the buffets will come back, because there are some really good buffets out there that we really enjoy. Aria was one of them, and if it were open, I can assure you we would have make the trip over there in December and enjoy dining at it. But alas, I don't think that's the case right now.
Yeah.
We're going to find out while we're there what exactly is up and running and what's not.
I think the buffets will come back. I think the reason that a lot of them haven't opened right now is the crowds coming in, the number of people, because from what I'm understanding, during the week, actually a lot of the individual restaurants are not even opening on some days during the week, because the amount of people coming through there it's just not enough to justify opening it. But on the weekends they are opening, because there's a lot of people coming in.
And again, you're gonna find out, because we're taking the camera with us on our trip, and we're going to show you Vegas during this time of pandemic. We're going to film also, a little plug, if you're following our YouTube channel or any of our social media, we're going to do Las Vegas Live every night while we were there for about 15 minutes in the evening, early evening. We're going to go live on YouTube, and we're going to do live from Las Vegas. I think we're going to call it, or Las Vegas Live. We'll come up with some catchy thing.
Should be pretty scary with all of us on camera.
It will be. We may be coming to you from a patio, depending upon when. In December in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But we will be coming to you from a suite at the Luxor part of the time, and for the first 2 nights we'll be at the Cosmopolitan, and we'll look when we're going to take a ton of video of the Cosmopolitan suite that we're in, and
I'm
do
excited about the Cosmo suite.
Extensive review on it. With the podcast, where we have the video running in the background of everything while we're talking about it, and it's going to be good. But the start of our vlog series will be right around mid-December, so be looking for that. It's our first vlog series.
Yeah, so be patient. Be patient with us. I'm not sure how well this is going to go, but it ought to be fun. I'm excited about it.
But back to the dining, I think the only place we really ate at the Aria was the buffet.
The Starbucks,
Starbucks was good. Starbucks was convenient. The essential stores for water and things like that is always good. You can use your room credit, resort credit, or anything like that. But hands down, really, we didn't try any of the other restaurants in the Aria. You have the Tapas restaurant with the Serrano.
There was that little place
Julian Serrano's.
There was that little place that we did eat like breakfast, I think, one morning, or we had a burger or something, but I don't think it's there anymore. It was like a little bar area off the sports bar.
I don't remember the name of it, but there was a burger place. We ate there a couple of times. I don't know if it's there or not. No, the pizza place, $5.50 pizza is not $5.50 pizza anymore. But I think the burger place might.
The Burger Lounge?
The Burger Lounge, yes.
Yeah.
We ate there.
Now, that was good, because they
really
even had
good.
breakfast, and
Yes.
I really liked their breakfast.
Yes, we did eat there, and I'd say that was pretty good.
But they have the pastry place where they
yes,
have the
pasterie, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, and
we never got anything from there.
No, but they have like the sweets and the pastries. I mean, it looked delicious. It's just I can't have any of that.
There was the one store.
They have the pressed juicery on the second level with across from the Starbucks.
If you're a health nut juicer, they have that. We did go downstairs to the one shop that you can buy drinks and alcohol and stuff from, but not dining wise. But we did buy a Golden Knights sweater there. It was like $80.
Yeah, and I still have, and it's great. I love that sweater.
It's awesome. So let's.
But they have the steakhouse. They have the expensive seafood place. Like it's considered a luxury hotel. So most of your places there are kind of more on the expensive side. Yeah.
Be aware, it's going to cost you.
Which is why we didn't do a lot of the eating there.
So we're going to go 1 to 5. 5 being excellent.
Oh, I'm going to give the buffet alone a 5.
Yeah, the buffet alone
even
is
though
5.
that's probably skewed because we didn't eat a lot of the other places.
I would say 4.
And the fact that you could order Starbucks. I mean,
Yeah,
that was
that's
just,
why I'm giving it a 4
Yeah.
because in the burger lounge was good and so yeah, I'd give it a solid 4. You're going 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 5.
Okay, so we'll round it up 4.5.
Yeah.
Let's move next to gaming.
Okay, yeah, I have a lot to say about gaming. Maybe we should just rate it up front. First of all, there were not a lot of people playing there, and again, we were staying there during the week, but this was all pre-COVID or vid or whatever we're allowed to say.
Virus.
So I honestly was shocked that there wasn't more of an atmosphere. I guess just because we had come from the Luxor and the Mirage, which we're a lot more used to the energy. There wasn't a lot of energy. I could not get the slot machines to pay off. I couldn't even hardly get bonuses on the slot machines. Like, it's one thing to want slot machines to pay off for you, right? We all want to win. But it's another thing to not even be able to enjoy the $100 you put in there because it won't hit a bonus or, it won't even do anything. So that was kind of my experience. And then I think there was that one time at the table, we sat down, I think you were playing blackjack, and I sat down next to you to play, and we had a dealer.
Was very rude to you.
And she was so rude. So I have this thing that I understand that part of their job is to ask you for your ID if you look younger than 21. And a lot of times people feel that I do. I mean, since I've gotten gray hair, it hasn't been as bad. But we're sitting there. And so my issue with that is if I come up to the table and I'm just watching and you're concerned that I'm not 21 years old, ask me for my ID when I get to the table. Don't let me stand there and you keep looking at me and in your mind you're thinking, I'm not really sure, she kind of looks, she doesn't look, I don't know, and you do that for 5-10 minutes and then you ask me for my ID. Then I get really mad about it because I don't know why. It just irritates me so bad. And this lady did that. She was being very rude. She was dealing so fast she could hardly enjoy what you were playing. And then I had sat there with you for at least 5 minutes, maybe longer. And then she was like, "Can I see your ID?" And I had to take my bag off, because I wear the little backpack thing. And it's a lot easier than carrying around a purse in Vegas, I feel like. So I had to take that off, open it up, pull out my thing, and it's just so annoying. It's like, if you're going to ask me for my ID, ask me when I get to the table. Ask me up front. Don't play this game with me where you think I'm 21, but you're not really sure, and then you don't like the fact that I'm just sitting at your table. And a lot of times they will do that because you're taking up a seat, and they don't like that. So, anyway, that's my beef. I just felt like all in all, the gaming was not fun.
No, slot machines tight. You couldn't get them to pay off. I played various table games while we were there. There was one blackjack dealer who was fine. He did call down some people because they were drunk and being rowdy and using curse words in front of ladies, and he called them down on it. And the guy complained, and the pit boss comes over. And I just and those drunk people left. I looked at Pit Boss and I said, "Look, I spent a lot of money in Las Vegas. They were being very rude and disrespectful. Don't do anything to that guy because he was just, this is a nice establishment and he's just doing his job." And but here's my thing. Atmosphere matters when you're dropping money on tables to play.
Yeah, it does. Big time.
Big time. And an atmosphere was dead. A luxury casino, your dealers should want, you think there's a lot of money coming in here. We want to, we want to have fun. We want to, no, everybody's serious.
Well, and I don't want to sandwich them all into that box because we did play like the Big Wheel, which we had never played before because it's basically a money grab.
Yeah,
and she was just so sweet and she talked to us and that was a lot of fun. So we had our moments, but overall,
our money that we won
rough.
the money we won on that trip, we didn't win there.
No. And actually, we didn't win a lot of money all around that trip, and most of our money we spent at the Aria because we were staying there.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to gamble more than likely where you're staying,
Right.
the most. And it just, I mean, I remember the first couple of days, I think by day 3, I looked at you and I was like, I just want to go to the Luxor. Like, I just want to go somewhere else because I'm tired of being here and playing here. So my rating,
And of course, we
for
go to the
this-
Luxor, and I put $100 on the craps table, and I win like $250.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, but the atmosphere is just different there. I can't explain it. It's just different.
And then we went to other places that stories we'll tell later on during that trip. But the gaming was it was just a dry
rough, yeah.
atmosphere. Now, there was one game that's at the Aria that's not in a lot of places, not in a lot of casinos. And I understand why, but it probably should be because the casino is going to make a ton of money off of it, and that's called Casino War. Now, let me preface this by saying we went on one of our trips. We went with some friends who had experienced Las Vegas more than we had. That was our like 3rd or 4th trip. They've been going for years, and we would sit down, and Joey looked at us one time and he said, "Hey, that table over there, that's called Casino War." He says, "You ever
I said, how do you play it?
It's like, how do you play it?" And he's like, "You sit down, you put your money on the table, and you watch them take it." Yeah. And he said, "If you ever get the chance to play that, don't."
Yeah, but I think he walked over there. No, he walked over there and he was like, "Come here, I'll show you." And within just seconds, he was like, "There you go, that's how you play it." And all the money was gone. It was pretty great.
So, lapse
Shout out
in
to
memory.
Joe and Christine.
Yeah, Joe and Christine, you guys are awesome. Complete brain fart on my part to forget that. We sat down at the Aria and played Casino War, and let me tell you what happened. Exactly what you would expect.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes, we were both down $100.
Yeah. So, I guess with that,
I'm going to give the gaming on a scale of 1 to 5. I'm going to give it a solid 2.
I'm going to go like, I'll go with 2. I had my moments of fun, but overall, it was not something I enjoyed.
Now, we had, as far as transportation goes, we used a lot of rideshare, but there was a tram that took you from the Aria to the Vidara to the Bellagio, and that was cool.
It's a really nice tram. It works
and
out
park.
really well.
I think
it stops at the shops at the crystals or crystal shops.
Yeah, the
or
crystal
however.
shops, the Vidara. You can even get to the Park MGM from there, and very easily. So accessibility and
It's
stuff like
very
that,
good.
I'll give it like a 4.
Yeah.
So rounding third, coming in for the close. This is going to be our overall rating for the Aria plus recommendations on if you should stay there or not. So I'm going to pitch to you 1 to 5 on your rating for the Aria and whether or not you would stay there again.
1 to 5, I'm going to give it a 3. I would stay there again. It certainly wouldn't be my first choice. I think they would definitely have to really pitch me a good offer. I love the art. One of the beautiful things about the Aria, and one of the things that I enjoyed the most, was the art. They have artwork everywhere. They do all kinds of different designs for the seasons and holidays and things that you go throughout the year. They have a water wall that comes down in different patterns as you walk in through the front door. So really neat abstract art, and that was something that I really enjoyed about it. I definitely recommend people to stay there, but I wouldn't recommend you to stay there if you are just looking for a nice place to stay in Vegas, but you want to stay somewhere that's reasonably priced and that you can have a lot of fun at. It would not be the one that I would suggest to somebody. But if you're looking to go on a really, really like romantic, nice getaway for a couple of nights, and you just want something very, very, very nice, but maybe you don't want to be themey and go with the Bellagio or something like that, then I'd recommend the Aria, but I wouldn't recommend it to most people probably for their first option of where to stay.
I'm going to give the Aria a 3, and I said I wasn't going to rate it high, and I think I've been fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
The Starbucks was nice. I mean, having access to certain things was nice. You had to present your key card to a security guard in order to get to the elevators.
Yes.
To your room.
Now, I will say I really liked that they were doing that.
I liked that. It's going to keep
You did
people.
have to remember to have it out, because every
Yes.
single time you passed through there, you had to show it, no matter where you were, no matter what elevator you used. you had to make sure you had it. In your
And
pocket.
even on the second level,
yes.
you had to have it. You had to present it. So you always had to have your key card. I would not recommend it to anybody going, because I think for what we got, I think we still ended up dropping like $700 on the 2 nights plus the room, the resort fees, taxes, and what they hold for the room. Unless you're wanting to spend a ton of money. Look, I would recommend dropping it at other places like Mirage and Bellagio, because I think you get more bang for your buck, especially at Bellagio.
Yes.
So no, I would not recommend it. Would I stay there again? It would have to be a really sweet comp.
Yeah.
And taxes and resort fees waived in order for me to do it again, because the luxuries don't outweigh the negatives to me.
Well, and the gaming is a big deal. I mean, you want to be somewhere where you feel like you have a chance to win.
Transparency here. I play. I'm a gamer. I want the atmosphere matters, and there was no atmosphere.
You want to be somewhere where you feel like you can win, and where there is
the most money
excitement.
We won at the Aria was in the sports book.
Yeah, because the Texans won that day.
And here's the thing. We could have won that money at any sports book at any M Life casino.
Pretty much.
You couldn't get into it to watch football. We ended up in a bar, like at Bellagio somewhere, trying to watch football.
Yeah. Because they don't have the largest sports book area. They really don't.
They don't. So again, I would not recommend it, and I would probably not stay there again. And that's very transparent of me. We were trying to stay in a nice luxury hotel for our anniversary. In hindsight, if I could do it all over again, I probably would have gone back to Bellagio.
Yeah, I think so.
Because if I'm going to pay $700 or $800, I could upgrade to a fountain view room and have the fountains right outside my window.
Which is like our favorite, I guess Vegas landmark or Vegas thing to see. But yeah,
hindsight being 2020, that's what I would have done.
But I am glad that we stayed there. I mean, just to end it on a good note, I'm glad we stayed there. I'm glad we experienced it. Otherwise, I'd be like, let's stay at the Aria. I've always wanted to stay there. So I'm glad we stayed there. I'm glad we got to experience it. There's many more hotels we haven't been to and haven't stayed at that, I still want to go and experience. So yeah, I think overall,
we may or may not do. Well, I mean, time will tell.
Exactly.
We're staying at Luxor because we've got a really nice offer. They really wanted us to come back. We really been waiting to come back.
Yeah.
So we're going back. But we also, because, this project wasn't birthed when we made this decision, but now that we're doing this, I'm glad that we have made the decision to stay 2 nights off MGM properties. Mm-hmm. And we're going to try out the Cosmopolitan, which is another very fancy, you're paying good money to
and
stay there.
We are paying to stay the 2 nights. They did not give us any kind of
there's no
special offer. I mean, I think
comps.
they discounted the room a little bit, but overall we're paying out of pocket. But again, as you said earlier in the show, you got to spend money to get you don't get the Kohl's cash unless you go to Kohl's and you spend money to get the Kohl's cash. So
we're spending money to try to get the perks, and we'll tell you all, we're going to be very transparent. Nobody's paying us for any of these reviews.
No.
These are all our opinion. And if somebody does decide to pay us at some point for a review, we will take their money happily, but we will also let them know that we're very transparent. If we don't like it, we're going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
After your money is spent, then we'll record it. That's it for the Aria here on the Fabulous TexVegas podcast. We're so close. It's finally that time in November where we're
it's not long now.
In 30 days or less, we're going to be back in one of our happy places. Virus be damned. We are coming home, Vegas. We are. And we're coming with a ball of fire because we've had 7 months to just sit here and stew. With that, we're going to head on down the road and till we meet again here on the
next one.
Until the next one, we'll see you again, and Viva Las Vegas.